What is up, everybody? Welcome to the feast. What are we on? Episode 113, the show where you submit replays and I cast them. I'm Delthius. How's it going, everybody? I'm doing well. Excited to be back. Took a couple weeks off for the holidays. Hope everybody had a Merry Chrysler and a Happy Honda days. We made it to 2021. Hopefully this year will be a bit better, and I hope everyone's doing well. I've been good. I'm playing a lot of World of Warcraft Shadowlands. That's been fun with my guild. We got 9 out of 10 of the bosses down last week in the raid. I think we could have beat the last boss, to be honest, if we were a little sweaty and went a little longer. But this week, tonight, actually, like right after I finished streaming, we're raiding. So hopefully we'll clear it tonight. That'll be a lot of fun. What else have I been doing? I've been getting back into playing Brood War. That's been really cool, man. Brood War is so much fun. Trying to get back on the Tooth and Tail ladder more often as well. I need to get back into Cyberpunk. I've taken a little break. Taking a little Cyberpunk break. I still really like it, though. Need to get in there and finish that game up. Good to see everybody. As always, keep submitting me replays. ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. I got a full show here tonight, but the ammo is getting a little bit low. So I definitely need some more of those replays coming in, everybody. This is an audience participation show. Cannot be done without your help. So, what else have we got going on? So, a lot's going on, actually. We've got the TnT Clan Wars kicking off this weekend. I got a little graphic here. Bam. Very, very professional. With my little window, my little Firefox box here. Well, I guess technically it's week 2 coming in, but the first week was kind of not necessarily preliminary, but like a little bit of a test round between FXB and BM. My team, P-Boop, is going up against TRG at 1 o'clock p.m. EST, and I will be casting that here on Tooth and Tail TV. I think I got Jed Erickson to cast with me, so I'm pretty hyped about that. I always love casting with that guy, and it's definitely been a while. And at 4 o'clock EST, we got Fox Babies up against Lizard Wizard Magic, and that's being cast by Copo, I think is their name. Let me double check. I don't know their Twitch handle, but I'll definitely plug it on Sundays. Kobo is gonna be casting it, so that's gonna be really cool. We've also got QQ's pick a deck, random deck tournament. Kind of everybody submitted decks, and we played the first week of matches on this crazy map here, Antiquilaris or something, and it was definitely a crazy map. You know, you've got no expansions, a bunch of campfires, and I think that was a lot of fun. Very unique experience. We had some brackets for that, and it was basically GSL format. If anybody watches StarCraft 2, I'm sure you all are familiar with StarCraft if you're here, and yeah, so you know the match A and match B happen, best of 3. The winners fight each other. Whoever wins that qualifies. Losers fight each other. Whoever loses that is outs, and then winner of the loser versus loser of the winner to see who the next place was. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. The TnT Clan Wars, big shout out to Kipo and Horus the Holy and everybody else involved. Getting that organized and coordinated. Getting a lot of participation with that, which is really cool to see. I think TnT Championship, the next season of that, is coming up right around the corner as well. Mochaccino and Marmu organizing that. So if you are interested in participating so the TnT Clan Wars and the QQs get assigned a deck. Tournaments are underway. You can't join them anymore. But you can get into the TnT Championship, and what's really cool about that format is there's a beginner, intermediate, and premier division, so all levels of skill are welcome to hang out and play in those games, and that's a lot of fun. Alright, so without any further ado, I think it is about time to TnT is secretly a retirement home for StarCraft 2 players, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, watching the feast on the TV. Nice, man. Crack open a cold one. But yeah, I do need replays, so keep sending them in, everybody. ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. that's our commercials. I think we got there. Next big thing to look forward to is on Sundays at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. We got some TnT Clan War matches happening, so... Alright, that's enough rambling. Let's get into game number 1 here. Spawn on the bottom, we've got Lupus. And their opponent to the left, Cavernous, on the team Lizard Wizard Magic. I don't recognize either of these players' handles, which I always am very excited for. I love to see new people coming in. And Tooth and Tail is a very approachable game. You know, it's got a pretty low skill floor. You know, there's definitely a reasonable skill ceiling. There is some cool stuff you can do at the high levels, especially with mind games and that sort of thing. But very easy game to pick up and get into once you kind of understand a little bit of the nuance. You know, hey, scouting's really important. You need to make sure, you know, your opponent's doing. You can't be too greedy against rushes, that sort of thing. You know, but I think that's one of the reasons we all like this game so much, because playing something like StarCraft is a commitment. You know, you got to be practicing all the time to keep those mechanics up. Where Tooth and Tail, it's like, you can play with a controller. You know, I play with a controller. I think the Gentleman still does. You know, so it's a lot more casual in that regard. Okay, so we had 8 farm openings from both sides. Map is definitely looking better for Lupus here. Lots of gristmills on his side of the map, but Cavernous isn't necessarily down and out here. He's got this natural expansion. It's almost a pocket base, which is always nice. Should be very easy for Cavernous to cover that, you know, defend quite nicely. And actually goes for tier 2 first. Lupus does scout it, but is not really going to be able to punish it super hard since he did build that gristmill in the early game. Already committing to a farm on that, so just going to get a little bit ahead here. And the Snake coming out first for Cavernous. Snake is a very powerful unit in the current meta, but, you know, one of the weaknesses of the Snake is it's not so great against mass tier 1. You know, you really want something more like a Skunk or maybe even Chameleons for that type of play. But Snakes can do a great job being like a budget Fox. You know, even if it is like a tier 1 game, if it starts getting scrappy and low numbers, the Snakes can get a ton of value, you know, with some good micro. Tag and all the various tier 1. It only takes 1 stack of poison to kill a lizard or a squirrel. So Lupus is already turtling up here a bit, building some defense. 180 food, invested into this defense, and Cavernous is having none of it. Gonna build these moles. Ooh, losing a little bit to the balloon. Doesn't have any high ground vision. So running up this ramp is gonna take a lot of losses from the turrets, from the balloons, but gonna commit in. The commander is so low HP, forces the sell on that second turret. Is he gonna bust through? It looks like it. The Snake's coming in. Looks like Lupus was trying to target fire with the balloon onto the Snakes. Manages to take down one of them, but the other Snake getting all that poison on the gristmill. That is a dead expansion. And Cavernous just smashing through. Gonna take it home for a moment. Regroup. I like to see this. I think Cavernous is still in a good position to be aggressive. Gonna decide maybe to get the mill. No, that 60 bucks is gonna go towards another Snake, but I like the pullback, you know. I think Cavernous has a lot of momentum in this game. Should definitely keep the pressure on. But it's nice to let, you know, your tier 2 units heal up a little bit. Regroup with some of that tier 1. Looks like maybe they're just waiting for that second Snake to come out here. Let's see if Lupus can hold on. He's got a decent amount of lizards here. Got the turrets. But the Snake immediately following the other Snake trying to get in. But does Cavernous just have too much? These moles do such a phenomenal job at tanking in the front. Yeah, a lot of the moles went down, but Cavernous was able to keep the Snakes up. Was able to keep up most of the squirrels. And these moles are slowly about done with their usefulness, as you can see with the new mole warrens. Well, I guess not necessarily new anymore, but the latest patch, the mole warrens do take damage when they reproduce units. Cavernous staying aggressive. Keep in mind, knocking down this gristmill was absolutely huge in the early game. Cavernous actually has the eco lead right now. The mole warrens do bite the dust, which is going to be a value loss here for Cavernous. 120 food. But I think their economy can more than make up for it. You know, as this 5-minute mark is rapidly approaching, having that second base established is absolutely huge. Lupus wants to get something done, but he's got the turrets. I think I like the snake harassment, but I think Lupus really needs to focus on getting that second base back up. There it is. And I guess trying to catch up in the eco game here. Does have a higher army value on paper, but keep in mind 180 food of that is the turrets. Lupus is also in Lizard Wizard Magic, says the gentleman. Registered as a new player. Yeah, I love that part of the clan wars was you basically need beginners on your team, you know? So your ideal clan is about like half beginner, half experience, and I always think it's phenomenal that tournament organizers really try to go the extra mile to include new players. Wonderful attack here from Lupus, though. This is exactly what he needed. However, doesn't get the whole mill. It is going to retreat and lose the snakes on the back end. But man, that was a lot of damage. He got 2 of these building farms and 3 of the existing ones. This is going to force a counterattack out of Cavernus, but 3 machine guns here. I think Lupus probably should have sold the Snake Warren and just railed down some more Lizard Warrens to kind of brace for impact, you know? But now Cavernus does have a much more technical army. The 4 skunks here, as well as the 2 snakes. Even got some pigeons for healing, and yeah, Cavernus is just going to go for it. Throwing down those mole warrens. Going to wait maybe 10, 20 seconds. Build up a few moles here. Economies are starting to get pretty low. But 4 turrets here out of Lupus. The moles are supposed to be pretty good against the turrets, but only 2 of them out as Cavernus cracks in. Is it going to be enough? A couple of these back turrets getting some decent damage in, but all of Lupus's armies gets wiped here. Those snakes a little bit too far forward. The skunks stay alive. So many of the tech units are still here for Cavernus. These pigeons doing a great job healing in the back line, and Cavernus takes the match. A nice brawl here. Both players doing quite well for beginners. Let's keep it going in match number 2. Maybe we'll do the first 6 and then we'll do the advertisements again. All right, game 2. Let's keep it going. Spawning on the right hand side, we've got Cheshire Saxophone up against their opponent on the left, Philly Sauce. The Cheshire Saxophone is a dope handle. I'll say it. I like it. The Cheshire's got a pretty solid meta deck, to be honest. Like, that is a great deck, especially for newer players. You know, if you're kind of just getting railed on the ladder, like, what can I go for? You know, the Squizzard Skunk in the early game is just awesome. The snakes are a great tool to deal with the units that traditionally counter the owls, stuff like the badgers and the boars. You can tag those down with the snakes, and falcons also scale quite nicely into the late game with the owls. Meanwhile, Philly Sauce, true to his name's got more of a Flavor Town build here. This deck it reeks of style. I like it a lot. Got that Squizzard Skunk again. I love that Squizzard Skunk. You know, it's a solid base. If you are one of those players that kind of likes to be a little janky, likes to experiment, try to do some crazy stuff, you know, committing those 3 slots to Squizzard Skunk is quite nice. I mean, lizards in general are very powerful at the moment, but what I really like about having 2 tier 1 is it makes toads a lot more manageable. You know, if you see your opponent has toads, you can try to bait those hits out with one of the tier 1 that you build less of, if that makes sense. Like, micro those forward to take the toad hits. But this is a nice big map. And with all this defense here from Philly, I would love to see him get in this sort of position where they can split the map, something like that, and then start setting up a nice line of, like, turrets already ballooned right here. And honestly, you know, combined with a bunch of skunks, I feel like that could survive the onslaught of the mice from the owls if we get into that hyper late game situation. That would be really cool to see. And are there more attack paths? I don't think so. I think this is it. I think this is the big attack path to the two sides of the map. And Cheshire, you know, their side of the map is perfectly fine. 4 mills over here. 5 mills for Philly, though. Oh, here comes the artillery. Yeah, this is one of those things. Oh, man, look at Philly. Look at Philly. Man of my dreams over here. You know, and this is one of the things about running these defensive decks is sometimes you get a map gen like this where it's phenomenal, you know. It's like, hey, there's one attack path. I can very nicely split the map in my favor. Other times you'll get maps where you can't quite utilize the defense as effectively, but, you know, smart players with some good placement can normally make something happen. This is so much defense coming out from Philly. This is sending huge signals to Cheshire, like, hey, don't attack me. But the problem, in my opinion, with what Philly's going for is there isn't that big payoff unit. You know, and Pyle used to make it happen just with the lizards. So maybe that'll be the route that Philly goes, like just massing into 50 lizards or something like that. But if you're Cheshire, you're totally okay with this. I mean, Cheshire's got, you know, one of the strongest late game compositions here between those tier 2 and the owl. You know, Cheshire's like, fine, you know, I'll macro up. I'll start building up this owl count. It can be scary if you're the hopper player here, because it is going to be really difficult to ever get in here and actually scout what's going on. So Cheshire's quite fine with this. I think if Cheshire was going for more of a mid-range bruiser kind of deck, you know, they'd be in a little bit of trouble here. But again, you know, these owls just scale so nicely to the late game. Once you start getting 5, 6, 7 of them, I mean, they might eventually break through this. We'll have to see. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a big fat macro game here. All this dead space on the map. No sneaky paths anywhere. That's a little unfortunate. So I'm really curious what Philly's going to do. You know, I don't think Philly's really got a scout in quite some time. They really just want to be in position here. Look at this, Philly. Oh, man. I'm rooting for Philly. Like, my brain says Cheshire, but my heart says Philly. You know what I'm saying? Cheshire is like this avocado egg salad that you're just like, man, that's really healthy for you. But Philly's this big old Philly cheesesteak over here. You're like, man, this is what I want. Huge economies for both sides, already 3-base saturation. Now, one thing I didn't think about earlier, but as Philly keeps creeping up, I mean, these artillery cannons have such long range, Cheshire might not actually even be able to take this base. So this might end up being 5 bases to 3. And if I was I think Cheshire is playing this very smartly. I think that they could just go ahead and sell off the lizards and the snakes, you know, just to get out more owls. Like, they're under 0 pressure right now. And the mice are already starting to come in. Maybe they don't want to reveal the mice just yet. Actually, finally gets in here for a little bit of a scout. Doesn't get much information besides there's a ridiculous amount of defensive structures. And there's a lot of farms. 33 farms from Philly. No survival farm, or starvation farm as we call them. If you're a new player and you get in a match like this, that is definitely something to consider. It's basically where you just keep one of these farms here. You don't take it. That way you can extend the game on for 5 more minutes. Because this game probably will go to starvation. And yeah, 7 owls coming out. This is what I mean. Slowly but surely, I think these owls will start to pierce this. And Philly actually massing up on the squirrels. I think I'd rather see lizards here. But yeah, this is going to be 5 base versus 3. And Philly really needs to leapfrog some more of this defense up, I feel like, you know. I would just build like 2 rows of turrets right here. You know, put the artillery behind it. 32 farms. What a crazy economy. Woody Pun, aka Tosh, what's up, man? Thanks for the raid. You came into a a defense macro game here versus Owls, where I want Philly to win, but I think Cheshire might eventually take it. I don't know. Here come 50 owls, or 50 mice. 50 owls, oh geez. Oh, 50 squirrels. I cannot speak at all. Delthius, fake gamer. Doesn't even know what squirrels are called. Oh my god, is Philly just gonna ram through with 50 squirrels? Let's see. I don't know. These mice are gonna respawn and probably clean all this up. Yeah. I got hyped for a minute there. I think that mill is probably in range of the arty, yeah. Certainly these farms are, obviously. If not, it's like 1 tile away. Man, Philly doesn't even care. Just look at this. 40 more squirrels already ready to roll. Yeah, Philly needs to wait. Oh my god, do it, Philly. How high are we gonna get here? Oh my god. Yes. Yes. 100% yes. Come on. Come on, 2 more warrens. 100 squirrels, let's go. 100 squirrels incoming. 30 farms. Yeah, you get the 100 squirrels out, right? You wait until Cheshire sends in the mice. And then you attack right after. I guess. Look at this, man. This is like a money map in StarCraft or something. Are there even going to be enough tiles for these squirrels? 83, come on. Alright, we got 120 squirrels in Warrens, but we need to see that 100 number. There it is. 100 squirrels. There's so many squirrels. You'd probably be better off with like 50 squirrels, 50 lizards, I guess, because like some of these back squirrels probably are going to have a hard time shooting. Look at the reinforcements, man. Oh my gosh. This is nuts. Oh, sold off all the defense. Okay, going to 135. Oh my gosh. Philly, sign my mousepad. Dude, these squirrels can't find tiles to shoot. Zap Brannigan in here. Just throw in bodies. Oh my god, what is this? No, he's dragging too many of them through the mice, though. That's 9 owls worth of mice. Oh my gosh. Is Philly gonna tap? Philly taps. Yeah, the drag through. The drag through, I think, got him at the end, and I think they would have been better off like splitting that between the squirrels and lizards. Honestly, I think Philly could have done it. You know, maybe like get some like 8 skunks in there. Run the skunks in first to tank the mice, deal with the mice. I don't know. A lot closer than I thought it would be. Yeah, some of the squirrels should be skunks, definitely. That was really cool, though. Alright, let's keep it going. Match number 3 here. Spelling on the right-hand side, we've got Big Pimpatosh. We're rocking that Badger Owl, and over on the left, R22. Okay. Yeah, Skunk Snake. Skunk Snake definitely seems like the way to go at the moment. I like that a lot. I think those 2 units do a great job complementing each other. And Skunk Snake Owl, like, I feel like what R22 is rocking here is a really solid, solid composition. Tosh being a little cheeky with the Badger Wolf, but I like it. I think the Badger Wolf is actually a pretty smart way to go about fighting the owls. It's like, yeah, sure, they can get the snake tags with the Badger, but if you've got good Badger micro, you know, in theory, you should be able to bait the snakes forward. Like, if they're gonna hard target your Badger with their snakes, right, you just move the Badger backwards, the snakes run through your army. You've also got the pigeons there to deal with the poison. So I like this matchup a lot. I think it could definitely go either way. I think this kind of Badger style might be a good way to fight this owl comp. I mean, traditionally it's always been, but I think we just saw a point where the owl snake seemed very strong. I think some people have switched over to experimenting with things like toads and cams and boars to get the job done. Pretty basic opening so far. 8 farm singles into some expos. I like that a lot since this map is quite large. You're not as worried about the early game here. You can get away with getting that mill up a little bit faster rather than going for the 8 farm double. Kind of a wonky map, to be honest. I think I like it a little bit better for R22 here. Got the 3 mills. Meanwhile, Tosh has only got the 2. These middle mills are kind of interesting. It feels like it might be easier for Tosh to get over here and get established here, but this might be the area, if this game goes long, that really determines who ends up winning. Like, whoever can take this area, get these extra mills. And also this 1 mill up here. So, I don't know, like, these 3 mills in the middle feel a little bit neutral to me. It's really going to come down to positioning and presence on the map and power to determine who's going to get those. Tosh going for the double skunk here. R22 going to come in, try to apply some pressure with the lizards, but Tosh does have plenty of squirrels here to deal with that. Both players equaling up. I love those kind of moves too. When you feel like you're not going to get attacked, you can sell and rebuild the warrens and basically refund your squirrels and squeeze out a couple extra farms. A nice little tactic there. Snakes coming out here from R22. R22 with that last attack did see the double tier 2. Can probably infer it's going to be skunks. You know, double skunks is a pretty popular, strong composition in the early game. Even a balloon coming up for R22. Did Tosh scout that balloon? Oh, here we go, Tosh. Alright, starting with the wolf here. Alright, Tosh does know about the balloon, which might have informed the decision to get that tier 3. Nice scout here from R22. Immediately sees the tier 3 going down. Now they can make the decision if they want to pull the trigger or maybe get into their own tier 3. Going to respond with what looks like 2 owl warrens. Nope, just snake and owl. Okay. I think that's a fine. Oh, but Tosh, with the mind games here, sells off that wolf. Instead, going for a bunch of squirrels. Going to be ready to move out here shortly. Wants to catch R22 with their pants down. Investing that 360 food into the owl while the attack hits. So let's see it for Tosh. Lots of pigeons coming out. Knows about the snakes. Okay, now the wolf comes in. Maybe Tosh changing the mind here. Ooh, wolf badger straight up. Straight up wolf badger. Oh, I like that they change. Oh man, R22 didn't even get in to confirm whether or not that tier 3 warren was still there. And it was very smart from Tosh to build these new tier 3 warrens in a different spot. That way when R22 comes in to scout, you know, hey, nothing's there. They're not going tier 3. And that's probably going to be the spot R22 really wants to check with these scouts. But at this point, you know, it doesn't matter. The wolf would be here. Yeah, and Tosh going to go ahead and get in here. So yeah, this wolf badger, I think this can go toe-to-toe here. Like I said, it's really going to depend on if R22 can get those snake tags on the tier 3 from Tosh, but that can be easier said than done, especially if you have some good micro, especially if you got the pigeons helping out. Third base is getting established from both sides. R22 does not know that Tosh is trying to take that base just quite yet. Gonna see it now. Nice. That should be an easy pickup. Ooh, Tosh got a funny feeling. Decided to not invest that farm. Oh, the mice did not quite get on there. That was actually a really nice tactic that R22 was trying to accomplish, but just messed it up just barely. Wanted those mice to leash onto the mill and kind of basically at the same time be pulling that owl back to safety. So we're in the throes of a big fat macro game here. 2 established bases. We're past a 6-minute mark without any big engagements. And the double badger wolf is almost here for Tosh. I'm hyped for it. Let's see it. Even using that wolf to get that extra badger out a little bit faster. And the big first engagement might be over this third base here for Tosh. Tosh doesn't have to commit super hard to trying to keep it alive. Oh, but can maybe catch this owl. No, R22 is going to bring it back in time. We'll be able to save this mill. Not a crucial mill just yet, but it's always nice to keep that up. It helps the tempo of your economy. You go ahead and start investing in some farms there. Don't have to rebuild it. The 60 food, it's like, at this phase, you know, losing that's not the end of the world. All right, Tosh is going to come in here, going to try to break through. Again, it's going to be about the snake stacks onto tier 3. A little bit of an engagement, both players pulling back. This is so many pigeons here helping to support. And that wolf buff is really going to make a big difference. Keep in mind the third base is rocking a little bit faster, a little bit safer here for R22. But Tosh has the army to actually contest this position now. As long as they don't overcommit and lose the fight. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Tosh could bust through. You got to be careful in these positions, especially with your commander's HP, with those balloons and snakes there. One big way Tosh could lose this game is losing the commander. That owl goes down, though. Both owls out of play. I'm not sure if that second owl, I think that second owl might have just been building. Wasn't paying close enough attention, but this is starting to look better and better for Tosh here. Got this middle neutral area established. Gonna move this wolf over to buff up these pigs, make a little more money. What's he gonna sell? Maybe some tier 1? Nope, gotta get rid of the snakes. I agree with that, don't really need them. The micro focus for Tosh will be on the badger, and the secondary focus will be on the wolf. You know, trying to drag that back, make sure it doesn't walk too far forward. So it doesn't really have the time to micro the snakes. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, these pigeons are really helping out with the snake poison. That gas, though, is starting to eliminate some of the squirrels here that are soaking up the damage. One of the badgers actually is getting really low, is going to go down. The one badger still remains with the wolf buff. Tosh going to pull back. So far, these trades appear to be fairly even. So many snakes here from R22. And I like the single skunk. You know, that's really smart. I think you'd be tempted to go for 2 skunks here. But there's really not a lot of tier 1 from Tosh. I mean, there is, but it's pigeons, you know. And what's nice, why Snake Owl works so well, is because the owl doesn't really require micro, you know. You can pull the owl back when the fight starts, and then switch your micro focus to the snakes. Meanwhile, the snakes are a little bit more of a Swiss Army knife kind of tool for Tosh, because again, it is kind of hard to be microing the badger and microing the snakes at the exact same time. Tosh's commander going to go down, going to lose a pigeon for it. Ooh, badger number 3 on the way. Big tier 3 heavy game here. 4th base up and running for R22. R22 doing a good job of keeping a little bit further ahead on the economy. So we are going to get a split here on gristmills. This game does have the potential to go on for quite some time longer. You know, it doesn't appear like either army is really capable of just blasting in and railing the opponents just quite yet. So many snakes here. R22 bringing them forward. We're going to try to get some damage done. Lots of money here for R22. Ooh, gonna get in some lizards. I like that, a little more meat on the front. I was thinking they'd probably go for that second owl. You know, one owl is okay, but really, the owl's strength is in numbers, you know. You really need to get up to 2 or 3 at the minimum. Anything higher than that, it starts getting really crazy. R22 going to move in again. This road is quite nice for the snake harass here. Get in, get out. Ooh, that's a lot of snake stacks on the badger. 7 stacks of poison. Needs to get back in their territory. Those pigeons need to heal the badger. There we go. Back to full HP in no time. Alright, is Tosh going to commit? Really careful control here with the Badgers. Ooh, gets the owl. That's huge. A lot of the snakes are starting to go down as well. Tosh wins a nice engagement there. Very good job of being patient in these skirmishes. You know, not all-inning. These balloons really helping out. Ooh, this is interesting. Is R22 gonna go for it with these lizards here? Gonna bring himself out of position though, not at home to help Micro. However, gonna get some damage done. Oh, I like that. Just let the lizards do their thing over here. Hopefully you rallied them in a little bit further. And that's actually gonna bring Tosh back to deal with these. Lizards manage to get a few warrens, and some of them will escape with their lives. No, the Wolf Buff Badger here. Gonna start mowing them down. It's already revved up. Tosh is getting to work on the 4th base. That is a dead 4th base. A lot of poison going down on Tosh's unit, so the pigeon count is not super robust at the moment. Badger dies, a wolf dies. Oh, these badgers are so low, so poisoned. Another badger dies, 1 badger remains. All the snakes are gone though. 1 badger is all you need. R22 is only on snakes and lizards now. Huge trade there. R22 actually doing a great job with that snake control. Targeting down those key units. Now the players have to sell and decide what they're going to go for. I like the big lizard play here. It's smart. You can get in there very quickly. Tier 1 units build very fast. The lizards can do okay against badgers depending on the matchup, but so many snakes here from Tosh. This is a really great game. Tosh is getting back up to that double badger wolf, though. Tosh needs to save up some money to pay for that wolf when it spawns. Gonna maybe sell off some pigeons. All the squirrels are gone. And man, I think R22 made some good decision making here with the cells on the warrens and what to keep, but just doesn't have the money at the end of the day. And RTS games, there's a lot of strategies, there's a lot of tactics and mechanics, but what it really boils down to who's got more money. And right now that is Tosh. R22 knows he can't contest the army of Tosh, gonna go for the base trade. Ooh, this is actually a little bit deadly. Excuse me, because Tosh has to split. He's got to get this one and this one. Meanwhile, the lizards just got to kill this one last mill. Tosh is going to retreat, going to pull back and try to defend this last mill. Will his forces get there in time? It's going to be close. I think they might. Oh my gosh, these lizards are doing so much damage, and that is it. Great decision making there from R22 to pull the trigger on the base race there at the end of that game. Nice replay. All right. Really good one. What are we doing next? Let's get a little bit silly here, hopping into a free-for-all. Hopping into a free-for-all. There we go. Alright, in the bottom we got Winterload. Over on the left we've got Stronowski. That's Goris, I think. Up top we've got Meek 1 and 2 Suck. And over on the right we've got Doc 1 Jelly. Now, plot twist, Meek 1 and 2 Suck is actually Meek. Ooh, Mole Rush here from Goris. Oh, and Doc 1 Jelly. Doc 1 Jelly's probably a new player, man. Look at Goris being a bully. Being a bully here in the free-for-all. Shame. Good play, though. Good play. He was being a bully. He admits it. That was a bully move, sir. Alright, 5. And then following up with 5 farm double. Goris means business this game. Winter load. All right, I like winter load. 5 farm toads. I'm digging it. Okay. Meek 1 and 2 sucks. 8 farm opener, just playing normal. Doc 1 jelly trying to stabilize here. And this map has a lot of gristmills. Maybe they set in the map settings, you know, spawn as many gristmills as possible. Oh, winter loads, come on, man. Why don't you lizard rush me, buddy? Hey, bud. What you got there, bud? Winter load. Dude, you gotta toad it, man. I go full toad. Toad McGoad. Toad Road. Toad Road Gang. Isn't Winterload the leader of Toad Road Gang? It's a great clan name. Lizard Wizard Magic's pretty good too. I think those are definitely the best two. Oh, nice control there from Goris. Trying to be careful. Lots of lizards here from probably not Meek. Gonna go into the owls. Meanwhile, a couple mines coming down from Doc. Goris looking to move and groove. Oh man, go up there. Do it. Nope. Oh, nice attack. Definitely a better move. Gonna grab a pig from Winter. No second bases just yet. Goris actually on a 5 farm quadruple quintuple Warren here. Ooh, 8 farm double owl. Alright. And pure toads from Winter. This is a free-for-all. This is what we like to see. And then you got like the newer player just trying to hang out. Just learning like everything wrong over here. Poor Doc. Like, is this the meta? I should get a bunch of toads? Oh, Winter! Going for it! Oh, Winter! Was Winter the player in the like the last free-for-alls we saw? Who was doing the crazy toad stuff? Oh, what? What happened there? Did Goris just quit? I think he just quit. I think he just tapped out. He's done with this game. Rage quit. The 5 farm quintuple Warren did not work. Goris like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go get some pizza. Second base here for Meek 1 and 2 suck. Man, I refuse to say Meek sucks. That's just me. Meek's a really good player. I'm not a shamer caster. Well, I did shame Goris for bullying the beginner, I suppose. I don't even know if Doc Jelly's a beginner. I've just never seen him before. Oh, the mines! The mines did a little bit. Oh, these toads are just gonna get mowed down by the falcons. Ah, lots of them hitting the squirrels. Winter's got to be more sneaky with these toads. You can't run them into the small amounts of tier 1. But our red player did get up to double hour. Our red player is like the only one taking this kind of seriously. I mean, I don't think double owl off 1 base is serious per se. Gonna lose those owls, but deal some decent damage to Doc. Deal a lot of damage to Doc. Doc gonna be happy to have all those falcons though. Got those falcons though. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner. I am hungry. All I ate today was a Cliff Bar for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch. Nice job there from Doc, getting some work done. Oh, but Winter load! Oh my god, Winter, yes! Winter, yes! Ah! I barely got the camera over there fast enough. Alright, red player committing to more and more owls here. Ooh, this gristmill is so low. Doc trying to hang on. Oh my gosh, yes. Do it. Boom! Alright, Winter. Now these toads gotta go on a Splinter Cell Metal Gear Solid sneaky mission here. Right? Because they're not gonna be able to fight the owls, so he's gotta wait. It's gotta be clever. Gotta figure out a way to give old Hopper here the runaround. Get these toads in. How many toads is it for a gristmill? Is it 12 or is it 15? I feel like it might be 12. Toads of the Patriots. Metal Gear Solid. Solid Toad. You got Liquid Toad, the enemy. No, it would be Liquid Mouse, right? Because like mice are really good against toads. Metal Fox. All right, GG. Hopper takes it. Some really cool play though. We saw a 5-farm quintuple. We saw a bunch of falcons kill some owls. We saw Winter Load making it happen with the toads. Match number 5. This one gonna be a little bit more serious here. A good one for the notepads if you're a beginner. Let's get into it. Spawn on the left-hand side, we got Protocam, their opponent. To the top right, Kipo. Well, I say it's going to be a serious one, and then both players have 4 tier 1 double defense. Well, that's okay. I mean, hey, to be fair, these decks are fine, you know. I think this is a great kind of style to bring out in a series, a tournament series or something. You know, catch your opponent off guard. So I'm actually really excited for this. This could actually lead to some really cool games. 5-farm Warren for Protocam, 4-farm double here for Kipo. You know, if you're really aggressive with these playstyles, you can definitely make it happen. Protocam does have the snakes. Like, you hit hard and heavy with Squizzard Toad Mole in the early game. I mean, that is no joke. Like, the Toad Mole will just annihilate structures. Deal a lot of damage, tank a lot of damage. Kipo looking for some harassment here. Gonna be pushed back for now. Even try to bait with some mines. I see where you're going. Yeah, I love this kind of play, and I think it's really what can make the difference in some high-level tournament matches, you know. The player, there's kind of, I feel like I say this all the time, but there's almost like 2 schools of thoughts with top-level Tooth and Tail players. There's the players that go for the Holy Grail deck, as I call it. Like the deck they think can do well in most situations against most things. You know, stuff like your Skunk Snake Owl. And you've got the players that are constantly mixing it up. And they both have their strengths and weaknesses, and it really just depends on how much practice time you get in, you know. I mean, on theory, if you think about it, in a best of 5, if you had 5 different decks prepared, like, that would be very strong, wouldn't it? Even if the power level of the individual decks might not be super, super top tier, they might be doing some crazy stuff like Artillery Ferret, you know, that your opponent's just not ready for. However, we have seen, to great accord, the flip side of that, where you've got players, you know, Airlu comes to mind, this guy comes to mind, who are top-level, you know, tournament champions that really got there based on one deck, you know, and that has advantages too. You hyper practice in with that deck, because I think what people forget sometimes is there's a very big difference between decks and builds. You know, one deck might have a lot of different builds, a lot of different playstyles within it. Nice engagement here. And a couple scraps as I've been rambling on, but not a whole lot yet. Both players just building a lot of tier 1. I think Kipo does have the tier 1 edge. In general, variety is good. Diversity is good. You know, having these different types of units here to kind of complement each other. Got the squirrels do long range, got the lizards to be very strong pound for pound and in your face. Got the moles here to tank some damage and be a real threat if they ever manage to get on top of the enemy structures. But you know, you could have like a super... that's one thing I want to touch on a little bit more is... Hold that thought. We got a big engagement coming in here. Nice choke here from Protocam. I really like that turret placement. That's a little bit counterintuitive. But it's phenomenal, because Kipo's got to come in all the way through here. Protocam can have his squirrels set up here already on their own tiles and be in a nice convex versus concave situation. Ooh, look at this turret up here on the high ground in range of the low ground turret. That is beautiful. Kipo's vision, Kipo's units are granting vision of the high ground. Protocam trying to bust through, but again, I just feel like the comp here for Kipo is stronger. Really smart play from both sides, but yeah, I mean, let's just take a random deck. Like, I don't know, Squirrel, Lizard, Skunk, Snake, Falcon, Owl, right? I mean, within that deck, you can just make lizards. You know what I mean? Like, you do nothing but make lizards. You can never build an owl. You could go straight for owl. I mean, there's a lot of variation. Kipo looking for some damage here. Gonna get pushed back for now. 5-minute mark did come and go. So these players do need to start focusing on that second base economy. Protocam a little bit more established there, but Kipo catching up pretty nicely. I'd like to see some more variety in Protocam's units here. You get some moles out there, get some lizards out there. Gonna go for snakes, actually. I guess the train of thought would be to use them to poke down the turrets, but gonna change their mind, actually just commit to more and more squirrels. Maybe trying to reach this breaking point where you just have so many squirrels that first volley of damage coming out of the squirrels just knocks out like 25% of the enemy units, you know? Alright, Kipo gonna crash in. Protocam not quite here to do any microing. I think we would have liked to step these squirrels back a little bit and not take that full damage there from the toads. And this is where you really need two different tier 1s here to try to be linemen against the toads, you know. Protocam is gonna hold. Kipo got some real damage in there, though. Even killing a pig, that's probably the most important part. You know, these main bases are very, very soon gonna go fallow. These pigs are on their way out. It's every pig, every piece of bacon here, so important. Turrets being utilized quite nicely from both sides, too. I really like this high ground turret here. You know, Kipo goes for a big engagement, might not have that high ground vision. Can potentially get a lot of damage done, but both armies really trading again there. But Kipo, the real story here is that Kipo just keeps eking out these pigs. Eking out these pigs. That's what's going to win this game. RTS is about strategy and tactics and mechanics, but it is mostly about more money. Who's got more money? More money, less problems. How aware is Protocam of that second base farm count? I haven't got in to scout it. It is kind of difficult to scout. I like these flanking lizards here. You can get a nice area of engagement. It's not the word I'm looking for, but surface area. There we go. Well, good job for Protocam, sniffing those out, knocking them out. This is actually huge for Protocam. Very, very big victory there. See from the army graph, that was a little more cost effective. It goes down at the end, I think, because he sold a turret? Maybe I'm wrong. Felt cost effective. But again, man, the real story is the pig count. You know, Kipo made those investments, got those pigs out a little bit earlier. That one pig that Kipo killed in that engagement is actually huge at this point in the game. Kipo running around again. I love this kind of play. Meanwhile, Protocam's like taking his time with the snake to bust the turret, but all of his pigs go down. Protocam's starving. He's basically in an all-in position here. I don't think he can recover economically. The map is too short. The margins are too thin. He's just got to come in here with a miracle attack and return the favor on Kipo. It looks like Kipo just barely has enough units. I don't know, man. The snake is really microable. Needs to pull it back, keep it alive. Oh my god, Proto, 2 HP on the snake. Could have pulled it back further, but knows it is too late. Very nice game there. Alright. We'll do one more. I'll do some announcements again, take a quick break, and we'll do some more. We got a full show tonight here, so about halfway through. Let's get into match number 6. Spot on the bottom, we've got Sunrise Piggy Delivery Company. One of my favorite names in all of Tooth and Tail. On the right-hand side, 6. We've seen these players fight each other a lot, so maybe they're buddies. Maybe it's like a Vincent versus Bratmos situation. If you're an old school Tooth and Tail fan. Was it Bratmo? I think it was. I think it was Vincent Bratmo. Crazy deck here from Sunrise. I'd love to see it work. You know, the Cam Falcon Wolf is kind of the core. So actually, okay, I love Sunrise's deck. I think this is really cool. So Sunrise has 3 different things going on in this deck, right? Got that late game Wolf Cam Falcon, you know, check, solid comp. And got this Ferret Turret, right? Okay. Not quite as meta nowadays, but tried and true, can totally work. And then Mass Lizards, right? So Sunrise, this is what I was talking about earlier. In a single deck, you know, Sunrise has these 3 radically different builds and overall strategies they can go for. On top of that, more, you know, variations, you know, double cam openings, you know, 15 lizard openings, etc. Meanwhile, 6 just has a nice solid bruiser tier 1, tier 2 deck. You know, that's great. I like it a lot. In my personal opinion, I would have swapped out either Falcon or Cam for the Snake. I feel like the Snake is just such a valuable tool currently to deal with tier 2, to deal with tier 3. To do a ferret impression and siege buildings. But you know, Falcons can get the job done too. You got like 6 Falcons out. That'll burst down a tier 3 very quickly. Lizards here for both sides so far. Ooh, 6 is gonna take the engagement. Gonna be a pretty even trade. And look at this map. It's like oddly symmetrical, you know. It's a shame that 6 is stuck down here on the low ground, but this is pretty much symmetrical. If 6 was on middle ground here, and then the rest of this is just nothing. It's like don't even worry about any of this. I would have loved to see like a sneaky campfire or something back there. And both players actually, well, at least 6 did a really good job getting the lay of the land. Sunrise pretty thorough as well. Not 100% sure. Maybe there's something back there. But, I mean, the map here is basically this, you know. Now, this is where you can get in trouble. You know, Sunrise is, again, you know, we talked about 3 various builds within Sunrise's deck here, but this is where you can get in trouble trying to stretch yourself a little bit too thin, doing a couple too many things with your deck. Because Sunrise did had to opt to only run Lizard in the tier 1 slot. And we see some good players do that. I think Tiki Gray likes to do that a lot. But you can run into trouble when your opponent's got Toads like this. You know, it's going to be difficult to take good trades with pure Lizard versus Lizard Toad. Cams coming up, though. The Cams can do the job of soaking for the Toads. It's a little bit... I think most of the time you don't want your Cams to blow up to the Toads. But if I got a big Lizard army and they got 12 Toads... I'm pretty happy to trade my 2 Cams for those 12 Toads, you know. It was actually very cost and effective there for 6. A lot of those Toads kind of overkilled the turret. This gives Sunrise the opportunity to come in here and do some counter damage. Nicely done. That's a very big deal. For the momentum, for the tempo, Sunrise is getting more and more established up here on this middle area. And this is like one of those spots, you know, where it would be very, like, it's hard to imagine this going to a situation where both players have 3 bases, you know. Like, you're just not going to have Grismals that close to your enemies. This time around, those Toads not quite as effective. 6 The Toad is an interesting unit because you need a very large economy, in my opinion, to be able to do something like 12 Toads, you know. 12 Toads is a lot for one base, I feel like. You know, maybe something more like 6 would be appropriate. Ooh, dragging the Toads through, I like that in theory, but all of them going down. Sunrise is going to take the map. Nice fun game there, really aggressive, and it gave me the opportunity to touch on some Tooth and Tail 101 topics. All right, everybody, we're halfway through the show. Actually, perfect time here, 7 o'clock. So I want to do some more announcements. Please keep submitting me replays, everybody. ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. I'm running low. I've still got some in the hopper, but I definitely need some more to do a full show next week. Any level of play is totally fine. I'm not going to be a jerk and go really hard on you if you're a beginner or anything. But also, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the scene. Let me pull this back up. So on Sunday Fun Day, have I been on browser capture the whole time? I might have been. We've got the week 2 of Tooth and Tail Clan Wars here. We've got my team, P-Boop, named after my favorite mod, old Premium Bow, up against the Toad Road Gang, which Winter Load is the leader of that. We saw Winter Load in a free-for-all earlier. True to the name, using a lot of Toads. And that is going to be at 1 o'clock p.m. EST. I will be casting that here on Tooth and Tail TV. And I should have Jed Erickson with me. That's going to be a lot of fun. I love casting with that guy. And then at 4 o'clock p.m. EST, we've got Fox Babies versus Lizard Wizard Magic. And that should be casted by a player named Kobo on their Twitch channel. I don't have their Twitch link, unfortunately, but I'm sure I will by Sunday, and I can plug that or maybe raid them or something after my stream. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Basically, how it works is both team captains have to decide how many beginner matches. So all the clans, I should say clan, I keep saying team, but whatever, same thing, right? All the clans have 2 distinctions of players, right? You've got beginners and experience. So beginner players only fight other beginner players, and experience against other experience. And it's 4 best-of-3 matches, and then you have a 5th ace best-of-1 tiebreaker if necessary. And the clan leaders work amongst themselves how many matches will be played live, how many are going to be via replay. For example, for my match with TRG, we're going to have 1 match played by replay. So we'll probably do that one first. That way it's, you know, after that it's all dealing with live players. And then also how many beginners and experienced matchups you're going to have. Ideally, it's 2 and 2. 2 beginner, 2 experienced matches. So really cool. And then also we've got QQ's Pick a Deck. What's the official name of this thing? Roll-a-Deck. I keep saying Pick a Deck. QQ's Roll-a-Deck tournament. It's got GSL-style group matches here. And week 1 actually just finished. And we all played on this crazy map. So everybody in the tournament submitted 2 decks. I think the intention were supposed to be 2 good decks. But I think a lot of people submitted some cheesy stuff. And then you play on... So not only are you playing with... So everybody submits 2 decks, and then you get assigned 2 decks from other people, right? And then you got to play on the custom map as well. For week 1, it was Alcantarillas, which was this pretty... You know, it was cool. I liked it, actually. It was very unique. It made for some interesting games. I highly recommend getting this on the workshop. Of course, it's free. You can just download it and playing with your buddies or something just for fun, because it is really unique. You know, there's no grist mills. There's just a bunch of campfires. Seems like mobility is really strong here, Lizards. So it looks like the map creator kind of anticipated that and put in some neutral barbed wire here on your little runaround points. So yeah, that's what's going on. And we've also got Tooth and Tail Championship, the next season of that, 2021 coming up. I think you can reach out to Marmu or in the Tooth and Tail Championship Discord, or really just on the Tooth and Tail Discord if you're having trouble finding it. Any player would be happy to link it to you. But that's going to be a lot of fun. That's one of our more serious events, traditionally organized by Mochaccino and several others. We get a lot of casters involved. And that's like more of a hardcore traditional tournament that's played like a season, you know, over the course of several months. And there's beginner, intermediate, and premier divisions. So this TnT Clan Wars that's going on right now and the Rolla Deck tournament, those are underway. So you can't join them anymore, but you can tune in, check out the results, check out the matches. However, you can get into the Tooth and Tail 2021 Championship if you'd like. Again, I can't remember if I just said that, but there's beginner, intermediate, and premier divisions, so don't be shy. Sign up, even if you're a little bit newer. Oh, Mocha's not doing it this time around. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I totally understand. I'm not so sure of all the details. But we will get that worked out soon. But what's important is you know it's coming up, and you sign up for it if you're interested. So give me a very brief break here, a couple minutes. Gonna grab a drink, that sort of thing. And I'll be back, and we've got 6 more to go. Alright, I have returned. Thank you for hanging out and waiting. Let's get into it. Game number 7 here. Alright, got another free-for-all on our hands. In the bottom, we got Mr. Ziggy. On the left, we've got this guy. Up top, we've got Rattan. Over to the right, Big Pimpintosh. Alright, this is a fun lineup here. Okay, Tosh. I almost got deja vu. No, I don't think we've seen this. I think Ziggy actually submitted this pretty recently. Look at Tosh's deck here, ladies and gentlemen, in non-binary. Squirrel, all tier 3. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, alright. I think I'm on Team Tosh here. I don't know. I like that this guy's got the ferrets, you know. A little bit underutilized. Gonna try to make it happen. Of course, we got the owls and owls from Ziggy. I think Ziggy's got like a solid deck, you know. Ziggy's got like a ladder deck, in my opinion. And Rattan, a little bit similar. You know, I think the moles barbed wire balloon, a little bit flavorful. I think Tiki Gray popularized the balloon wire owl strategy. So pretty cool. Oh. Alright, what's Ziggy doing here? Ziggy's up to no good. Oh my gosh. Wait, so much is going on. This guy took a proxy? Oh my god. He's doing a barracks rush, you guys. Is this gonna work? This is so risky. Tosh seems to be responding well. He's eked out a farm. If Tosh runs this over, like, this is so rough for this guy, but I want to see it happen. I want to see it happen. This guy, so close. I think you'll be okay for now. You should have reinforcements spawning soon. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Too bad he doesn't have turrets, man. That is so good. Alright, this is what I care about now. This barracks rush, this Warren rush. Oh no, Raton! Raton gonna come in here. Spoil our fun. And then he just leaves! I'm sus. I'm totally sus. So Raton and Tosh, they have some sort of agreement. This guy's gotta pack it up. He was doing okay. And then Raton had to come in. Ruin the fun. I'm sure Tosh is very happy, though. Alright, this guy's gotta stabilize. He's got Ziggy nipping at his heels with these lizards, however. Alright, Ziggy's gonna go punish Raton, as he should. Ooh, one farm down. Gonna get that nice cell on the other one, though. Gonna have to take it home from there. Alright, this guy's gonna get into 8 farms. Tosh going for the boar. She's gonna leave that mill there. Doesn't even care. Resold the Warrens just to get out the farms a little bit faster in the tier 3. But Raton's got a nice handful of squirrels here. Got a nice economy going. Meanwhile, Ziggy, a little bit in the same boat. You know, he's got a good amount of lizards. Got that second base up and running. Almost has an owl out, though. I'm definitely more of a fan of the quick boar. Like, the owl has a ton of strengths. And, I mean, I feel like this might even be incorrect to say, but, you know, like, a quick owl is just not as strong as other quick tier 3 units, but it's still pretty good, right? Like, you're never gonna say no to free, super strong tier 1 units. I mean, the mice trade very effectively, even in small numbers. Alright, a little bit of barbed wire coming out from Raton. Alright, Ziggy. I like Ziggy's spot. You know, 2 bases up. Got that owl. Tosh still on 1 base, but getting out this cavalcade of tier 3s. He's going to go for 1 of each. Stay tuned to find out. Raton, meanwhile, getting that double owl up and running. These wire doing a good job of slowing down the mice, and at a rate of $10 a pop, you can't really complain. But here's the boar. Alright, who's going to be a target? Oh, this guy. Still trying to be a little bit of a proxy nerd. Gonna sell things off, though. Lots of money. This guy coming out with some really cool stuff so far. And just gonna transition into triple owl here. Alright, Tosh, you got the boar. Oh, no, Tosh sells off all his supporting units. Just gonna keep the boar to hopefully defend against any kind of tier 1. Meanwhile, Ziggy harassing this guy who has absolutely nothing. This might be curtains for this guy. Ziggy's like, oh, you don't have anything. And that is basically it for this guy. Taps out. Or did he actually die? No, he tapped out. I think Raton was about to kill him anyways. By knocking out that second mill. Okay. Okay, so all the players in pretty close spots. Everyone's got 2 bases up. 3rd base on the way. Already full saturated for Raton here. Going full commitment on the owls. Trying to get this barbed wire up, but Tosh is going to have none of that. 3rd base on the way for Ziggy here. Alright, this game could get weird. Let's think about it. So Tosh can pretty comfortably get into 3 bases, right? As long as he can stay alive, and I think he'll do that just fine with the boar. And even has a nice little spot to put the boar in some water for some extra healing. Well, I guess not really, because it's not in his territory, but once he takes that mill, it will be. This is looking great for Ziggy. 4 bases, could even get this 5th. Raton's got these solid 3, can maybe try to fight for one of these. I feel like this is a lot more likely. Of course, 4th base for Raton. Wolf is out here for Tosh. But Raton is the monkey in the middle here, which is never the position you want to be in these free-for-all games. Because anytime Rattan goes to move out against one of these players, the other one can come in and counterattack. 7 owls on the way, though. Does have the economy to get this going. Yeah, look at this. Ziggy even just being careful. Just sending 1 owl worth of mice up here. But hey, this is a lot of damage. 3 pigs for free. So my guess is that it's going to come down to Ziggy versus Tosh, right? I think Rattan's going to put up a good fight. But I think he's eventually just going to get sandwiched here. Woof Up Badger does a great job of chewing through mice. Yeah, this is... Alright, so it's really going to come down to poor Rattan here, man. I think he played well, but sometimes it's a little bit unfortunate. Like, they have no choice if you look at the map. You know, Tosh and Ziggy literally can't attack each other until Rattan is dead. Rattan gonna do one last hurrah. Gonna try to be a thorn in Ziggy's side here. Ziggy should be able to clean this up with minimal losses. Tosh coming in. Oh, hey guys, yeah, that's totally fine. I'll go back to doing my thing, get my fox. And Rattan will be starving out. Let's see. Let's see if how tryhard he's gonna be. Could take that campfire, reverse the starvation. Trying to take that mill, but too late. If it does take 20 seconds for a mill to build. So if you don't have like 22 seconds on the clock, yeah, gonna take that campfire, just stay alive. Alright, that'll work. That'll keep him alive for now. I do appreciate the commitment to the cavalcade here, Tosh. One of each. It's actually kind of strong because one thing that tends to happen with the Wolf and like other tier 3 units is you have so many supporting units, you know, like your tier 1, some of your tier 2, that Wolf buff doesn't always get on the tier 3. But since there's mostly just tier 3 units here for Tosh, like it's very consistently gonna land on the Badger, gonna land on the Fox. Rattan gets knocked out. And now it is red versus blue here. Like the early days of the internet. Anybody get that joke? Rooster teeth? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you guys got it. Four owls from Ziggy. I like Tosh's comp better, but I think Ziggy's comp is probably better. Skunk, Snake, Owl, super strong. The Cavalcade, yeah. Cavalcade's a solid name. Oh, Tosh. Always a cheeky player here. Nicely done. Let's see if Ziggy just overwhelms a lot of snakes. Snakes do a great job of dealing with enemy tier 3. You can see this wolf is already tagged, gonna go down. Really just needs to get the tags on the Badger. That's the big threat here. A lot of the DPS coming out of the Badger. But, let's see. I mean, with all this tier 2 support, I think Ziggy's just gonna slam through. I don't know, man. This Badger's getting a lot of work done. How many snakes are left? 4 snakes, 5, 6. Gotta get those stacks of poison onto the Badger. It does eventually go down, but took so much of Ziggy's army with it. Like 6 owls, 6 skunks, 4 or 5 snakes. I mean, Tosh really put on the pain with that. Does Ziggy have enough? This is another drawback of all the tier 3s. They take so long to rebuild. So now Ziggy's got an opportunity to come in here and get some real damage in. All of his units are hurting. They're very low, using the snake on the front to kind of tank. The skunks are going to start falling to a couple stacks of poison. Get on the owl. If Ziggy can get on the production, I think these rallying snakes maybe have enough. Some of this tier 2 is starting to get here, though. Good snake poison distribution. Really, the way Ziggy wins isn't killing the farms. He needs to kill these tier 1 warrens. Need to stop the production of the enemy. Oh, the boar got back out, but 3 snakes. Oh my god, are we seeing the board do good against snakes? There's some poison. Oh my god, Tosh. Ah, the board's gonna go down. But it takes those tier 2 units with it. Oh my god. Oh, the owl died to poison too. I think Ziggy just barely gets in here. Yeah, the wolf is almost done, but the wolf's not what you need. Tosh with a ton of money, nothing to build. Could try to slam down some tier 1 warrens. Oh, but he's got this sneaky base down here in the bottom. Ziggy is not aware of it. If he's really paying attention to the minimap, he knows. Ziggy had to come home, though. He's got to sell some things off. Actually recommitting to a lot of the owls. I would love to see, like, sell the owl warrens, build a bunch of tier 1. Does find this base in time. Oh my god, Tosh. Yes. Yes. Not gonna have the money to actually build out of all those warrens, but can sell some of them. Oh man, but we are running low on time here. So I think I will fast forward this a bit. So many squirrels. Trying to drag him a little bit, but this skunk poison doing so much work through the choke. Oh my gosh, poor skunks, man. Poor skunks just killing an infinity amount of squirrels. It depends on the terrain, though. That's actually really good skunk terrain where that engagement happened. Like, if those squirrels would have had a lot of, like, surface area, I think they would have dominated. Alright, Tosh being annoying. Trying to take mills, trying to stay alive. Eventually taps out, though, and Ziggy takes that crazy free-for-all. Okay. Game number 8 here. We have a 2v2. What do we got? Ooh, in the bottom left, we got Premium Bow and Rattan, aka P-Boop. And up to the top right, Darius Hart and Mr. Ziggy. Alright, P-Boop and Ziggy sworn enemies this game. Both members of Team P-Boop. Let's see how this happens here. Premium Bow, very, very strong 2v2 player. Likes to play a lot, likes to play casually. I think Chip from Space and Arbuzz are the most iconic 2v2 duo. What is going on here? What is going on here, Rattan? 4-farm Fox. That's what I like to see. Zoning out a little bit. Almost missed a 4-farm Fox. Oh, he's gonna sell it. Gonna sell it. Instead, building into some warrens. Premium Bow with the 5-farm snake. I love these openings in 2v2. Like, there's a lot of variance. Darius Hart is gonna get that 8-farm, which is always great, you know, if you can get away with it. It's going to put Darius with the best economy here. Going to go ahead and start working on the expansions. Defenses are very strong in 2v2, as well as owls. And both teams have their fair share of defense, but only blue and red here have the owls. So if we do get into like a split the map kind of situation, I think I would like blue and red better, but it would also depend on how the map split. Premium Bow and Rattan both with Fox. 3 Foxes this game, surprisingly. Nice work here from Darius, getting a couple turrets established up on this threatening high ground. I love turrets that do this kind of thing. You're both kind of threatening your opponent's expansions and defending your own. And let's see. It's not quite a 1 attack path map. There is another one. I do want to show that to the audience, but got a little engagement going on here. Premium Bow trying to get rid of these pesky turrets and nip this problem in the bud before it flourishes. Gets away with 1 snake. Definitely a bloodbath here, though, with other units. So you can, it looks like, run around like this. on this map, but primarily this is going to be the main attack path here. Darius is doubling down on this position, really trying to get these extra turrets up and running. If they do manage to get these established, it's going to be very hard for Premium Bow and Rattan to get going in this match. I mean, that's their only, like, easy second base. You know, other possible expansions, like maybe this one, these couple over here, but there's a little bit of awkward ramping trying to get there. Look at this pressure. This is very good. And once you start getting turrets in mass like this, they can do a ton of damage. Snakes do a great job of impersonating ferrets, though. Poking in there, harassing these turrets down. Yeah, look at that. Another 60 foot gone. Alright, Ziggy doesn't have his second base yet. We don't see anything super crazy as far as army comps just yet. Lots of tier 1. Just got the snakes out of Premium Bow. Even going for double snake here. A little bit surprising with all the chaos, but you know, snakes have a surprisingly large amount of HP. Ziggy losing the commander there, going to bleed off some units. Yeah, snakes do have a surprisingly large amount of HP, so they can do a good job at tanking in some of these skirmish situations. And plus, always getting those tags off is great. It's just a kill. The tags on the commanders, especially in the early game, can be very problematic. Like, look at Ziggy's commander here. Being positioned nicely, but since these snakes are a little bit in the back, you know, units are going to prioritize attacking other units, but if there are no other units to attack in range, they will attack that commander. So Ziggy taking that, like, 4 stacks of poison, backed up, came back in, took 3 more stacks of poison, died again. It's not as bad later on in the game when you have more HP on the commander, but situations like this, man, like snake poison on the commander, definitely be very problematic. This is just such a train wreck here. I think red and blue are starting to pull through, but again, with all the HP on these snakes, with these pigeons helping to heal them back up in the middle of the chaos, doing a great job of tanking, but they're finally starting to fall. Oh my god, is this going to be a red and blue win here? The economies are starting to hit into the dumps here. We're at the 530 mark. Darius, the only one with an established second base. Ziggy did get this second base here. Hasn't quite built anything on it. Actually, Premium Bow did a sneaky base up here in the 3 o'clock. That was a very great play. It's most likely not going to be scouted. There's just too much action going on for the players to have the incentive to move their commander that far out of position to scout maybe that there's a gristmill there. But only 1 farm on that mill. So not going to be incredibly impactful. And more squirrels are coming in. 30 squirrels total from the red and blue side with the Warrens. And this just looks like too much damage. Finally, some real damage is getting done here from red and blue. Busting in. Dealing damage to the Warrens. Premium Bow looks like he's about to tap. Gonna fight to the last breath, though. Absolute bloodbath of the match. Just like 5 straight minutes of squirrels murdering each other. Finally, Premium Bow's down, but not out. Thanks to that hidden 3 o'clock base. But will it matter? I don't think so. And I am running a little bit low on time, so I might fast forward the rest of this one. It looks like red and blue will take the match. Rattan taps. Oh, unless is Premium Bow gonna do it? They're looking. They find him. Never give up, never surrender. Nice victory here for Ziggy and Darius Hart. Okay, we got 4 more. Yeah, I got a raid after the show tonight, so I gotta make sure we get through these. All right, match number 9. Let's get in it. Spawning on the right-hand side, we've got Winter Load, and their opponent to the left, Spatial. Okay, pretty cool decks out of both sides here. That Squirrel Toad style from Spatial. I like the Badger Wolf, you know. And it's kind of cool. I'm interested how well this will work out. I like the theory of dropping the skunks for the toads, right? Because they both kind of fill a similar role. And that's given Spatial the space in the deck to fit into ferrets, which I love, but I'm skeptical how well they'll work here. I think ferrets do... How do I put this? Like, I feel like ferrets could be good in situations we typically don't see ferrets, right? Like, on one base or on, like, two base, but still kind of early in the game. That's when you think you want ferrets, but sometimes they just don't have the raw, direct firepower to compete with some of the other Tier 2. I wonder if ferrets would be better off when we're on, like, 2 or 3 bases, you know? We're starting to build up to these big deathball armies. And then it's like you sneak in, like, 4 ferrets, right? And then while we're, like, split the line, you know, both of us are being kind of careful about all-in engagements. You just use those ferrets to pressure your opponent. That'd be cool to see. Alright, Spatial just building up some Tier 1 from both sides here. Pretty even map. If the game goes too long, it will be advantageous for Spatial, though. Oh, this is kind of really awkward ramping. I mean, the map definitely is better for Spatial. But I think you're okay if you're winner. You got a second base here. You got a third base. This ramping is really unfortunate, actually. If things get a little bit dicey, this could actually be rough, because the reinforcements from the main base. This ramping, too, is a little bit awkward, especially for Warren's positioned over here on this wall. Because imagine, like, there's a big fight going on right here, right? So the units from winner would have to walk all the way around to this ramp, and then walk all the way up this way. See what I mean? And then they would even get choked by that little bit of territory there. So winner is actually turtling up here on some barbed wire. Spatial getting ready for an attack. Barbed wire is pretty cheap to make. That's only 60 food, 70 food invested in wire. And basically he's going to shut down a direct attack from Spatial. Spatial coming in, saying, alright, let's see if you got anything going on the second base. Nope. Let's see. Spatial floating some money. Really wanted to attack here, but the barbed wire made them change their mind, and then they finally got to the point where they're like, alright, I got to go home and macro. So what's going to be the move? Second base, maybe some Tier 2. Ooh, actually grabbing a couple mills here. Ah, that's unfortunate. Winner tries to expand, but they shut down immediately. Just these toads coming in. Gotta be careful of moves like that. Toads are not like banelings that explode on death always. Toads are more like infested Terrans from Brood War, where they actually have to make a melee attack, and then they blow up. So you can kill the toads and prevent that explosion from happening. I like just the 3 toads, you know. I think I would prefer to see 6. I think 6 is a good number for this phase in the game. Big economy coming out here from Spatial. Look at this from winner. So much barbed wire. It's so cheap, man. Like, why not? Yeah, how much money did... About 210 bucks? That's like barely more than a Tier 1 Warren and 3 squirrels. Yeah, he's basically spent a Tier 1 Warren on wire. Okay, the Badger is up and is on the way, I should say. Spatial getting a pretty solid economic lead, though. But the scouting is a little bit lackluster here. Spatial needs to get in and see what's going on. If Spatial can do that, then they could make their own Badger. They could build up some Falcons. But right now, Spatial's playing pretty blind. So this Badger from Winter, I mean, it's going to be here before you know it. In about 20 seconds or so, it's going to hit the board. And I don't think Spatial's really going to be ready for it. I mean, Winter's got a solid comp here, starting to build into those pigeons. The Skunks will do a good job dealing with all the squirrels. Ooh, that's a lot of toads. Starting to get into the, like, delete your army with the right engagement number of toads here. And this is where 12 toads, like, if you really want to go that crazy with toads, I think is more appropriate. Because the last time we saw a player going for this many toads there on one base, well, Spatial's actually got the economy to back this up. 6 ferrets, I love it, but Really what he needs is 6 Falcons, unfortunately. Alright, here comes the attack. Winner starting to push forward. Oh man, Spatial really hoping that there's a base here. Oh, I think he was looking for like a ramp or something. No, nothing's there, and leaving the home base exposed. Winter's just going to go ahead here and just going to be able to knock out this third before the fight even happens. All these Toads will get some decent connections, though. Going to drag them through too much. I think we saw some other players doing that earlier as well. It's a cool idea on paper because you're like, you know, you do that a lot with Banelings. You know, you want to drag the Banelings into the center of their army, then blow them up, but Toads don't quite work the same way because if they die during that drag, then they do nothing. I think Spatial, maybe you can drag like a little bit, but you can't try to drag like all the way in, you know. The one advantage that Spatial does have here is that the army is primarily all tier 1, therefore it's going to be rebuilt very, very quickly. Winterlow doing a good job with this Badger so far. It's about half HP though. Does have some Badgers on the, some Pigeons on the back end here to heal it back up. Can retreat back into the safety of the barbed wire relatively easily. Overall, pretty nice attack here for Winter. Got the job done, got the third base knocked out. Traded quite nicely, kept the Badger alive. These ferrets are great, but they can't target the wire, so that wire is still zoning the ferrets a little bit here. That might be a cool change, I don't know. Just thinking out loud, like, what if ferrets could target wire, you know? Because wire's generally considered really strong at the moment, and ferrets are generally considered kind of weak. So that's like a buff that's not going to happen all the time. That's not going to come into effect all the time. But as somebody like trying to really make ferrets work, that would be nice. But that is going to be it. Winter doing a good job here with the Badger control, keeping it alive. Ferret's not quite getting the work done and takes the match. Alright, this should be a fun one. Game number 10. Actually got the last 3 matches here are fairly high level games, so if you're a new player or looking to brush up on some strategies, maybe trying to get in shape for the clan wars this weekend, these are definitely some good ones to take some notes on. Over on the left hand side, we've got Saint Abroad. Opponent to the right, Big Pimpin' Tosh. This is cool from Tosh. I like the Camp Falcon turret arty fox. That's pretty neat. You know, again, he's got this core, you know. He's got this Squirrel Camp Falcon core, which is good. I wouldn't say it's like a top tier comp, you know, but it's solid. It's like an A tier. And then this turret arty situation can definitely work, and this is a nice map for it too. You know, Tosh can put some stuff in about right here. Now, Saint Abroad, very strong player. He likes to be aggressive most of the time. And he's just one of those guys who likes to keep the pressure on and knows a lot about, like, windows and when he's got tempo. And, you know, he's going to poke and prod you in the early game, typically. And then if you ever start falling behind just a little bit too much, you know, he'll put the pedal to the metal and close the game out. And I think that's another one of these high-level player traits that can be difficult to develop. And that's where a lot of the nuance in Tooth and Tail comes in, because Defender's Advantage is quite strong. It's not as strong as it used to be. You know, we've seen things like Warren HP nerfs that have made that a bit smaller. But really understanding, like, when you've got that opportunity to just end the game. Because Tooth and Tail actually does have quite a lot of comeback mechanics in it. You know, you can take a couple bad fights, but then end up winning the match later. If your opponent didn't take that cracked window and come in and deal critical damage. So I've always really had a lot of respect for those players that have a strong understanding of tempo and momentum, and when they've got that opportunity to just come in and close it out. Because it's a hard skill to develop, and during the process of developing that skill, you're going to overextend a lot. You're going to lose a lot of games. And I think that's why a lot of players don't end up developing that skill as much, right? Because I think it just takes losses. Like, it's one of those things that's just raw experience. Like, it's really cool because Tooth and Tail, I mean, it's got depth to it, you know, but in general, at Spirit, it's a little bit of a casual game, you know, compared to other RTSs. You can take a long break, come back in, and kick some butt. We see that with guys like Mishi all the time. Mishi generally doesn't play a whole lot anymore, but big event comes in. Every now and then you'll see Mishi sign up and do quite well. But I think that's the skill that the constant grinders really get on those kind of, hey, I've put in the work before. I don't really play too often, but I understand. Like guys like me, like pretty much, you know. Like I still play a little bit, but I don't play a ton. I should play more. I always have a great time when I do play. But I generally just lean on the fact I've been playing this game for 3 years, you know, and understand most of it. But then there'll be guys who can just come in and that additional experience, that additional ladder grind really makes a little difference. But so far we've seen Saint actually taking a defensive position in this match. I had a lot of time to ramble on without really commentating on the game. Tosh did a good job of sneaking this artillery cannon in, and Saint did try to contest this lower one, but the problem is that this higher one's already defending it. And it's really important. You know, I heard Witty Pun in the chat say, I've been grinding for 3 years nonstop and still lose most of my games. Yeah, Tosh is a great example of it, of the difference between players like me and Tosh, right? Like, Tosh plays basically daily, you know. So if we, and every now and then I'll take some matches off Tosh, you know. But I think if we did a best of 99 or something, you know, Tosh would absolutely cream me. But I think the difference with Tosh is, I think Tosh is one of the best players with the most varieties of styles and strategies. And we do see that out of guys like Meek, too. Oh, look at this lovely base down here from Saint. Like, Tosh is not a one deck kind of guy, one trick pony. You know, he's always doing different stuff. And that's an entirely different skill set of its own, which makes for a really strong tournament player. Because then it's hard for your opponent to, like, ever really know what you're going to throw at him. You know, is Tosh going to build artillery and Fox? Like, is he going to get 3? Is he going to go Badger Wolf? Like, you have no idea. For guys like me who are good players, you know, I'm a good player, but I don't play enough to practice all those different styles. So it's pretty easy to figure me out, right? You'll see me play, like, the same deck, or maybe I'll change it up. I'll have, like, 2 decks, you know. But I don't have all these different styles practiced. Alright, good third base from Saint Abroad. So the story of this game has really been map pressure and map control by Tosh versus large economy from Saint. And Saint is finally getting into his late game now. He's gonna feel bad about the Falcons. I don't think he ever really... That's another great thing about this, like, artillery style. I love that this top artillery was also sold off eventually, because the goal of this top artillery was to get this position established, right? This does a lot. This denies the space from Saint. This Fox in some wonderful shots over here, by the way. But it also denies so much scouting information. Like, Saint had no idea this Fox was coming and is probably a little bit upset they have so many Falcons. Like, Falcon is, like, the literal worst unit you could have against a Fox. You know, it's worth a lot of money. It's slow. It gets one shot by the Fox. I mean, as a Fox player, you see your opponent's got Falcons and you get excited. You're like, oh baby, here we go. Tosh just kind of nipping at the heels here, picking up. But the Wolf is really great against the Fox, is that speed buff takes away the big edge of the Fox, which is the mobility. And now all of a sudden these units are a real threat to the Fox, can actually chase it down. And now the Falcons are very threatening because they have such high burst damage, and the Fox is such little HP. It's got less HP than a snake. The Saint is playing this quite nicely so far. He's got to figure out a way to get in here and bust this down, and I think the right move is just going to be to right-click to target fire the arty with the Falcons, I guess. Like, it sucks not being able to have very many tier 1 in this kind of position, because Saint's got he's kind of got this glass cannon comp. Like, his only real meat are the cams in the front. Like, he's got nothing to soak for these Falcons here. So the Falcons need to ideally get in here and target down the artillery. But without any support, I mean, Tosh has got plenty going on here. He's got squirrels, he's got turrets. I love the cams, by the way. Gonna get some harassment done on the mill. Oh, gonna lose the Fox there. Didn't quite pull it back in time. This is a really cool map, but the job got done here for Tosh. He lost the Fox, but he got the base. I think I watched this game, actually. I think I was watching Tosh's stream. This is very familiar. I was wondering if it was familiar because I had already seen it, but I think I was watching Tosh's stream when he was playing this one. Yeah, I was for sure. I watched this live. That's funny. Gonna bleed off the wolf here. Got 2 wolves. And really cool tactics here from Tosh with this backdoor entrance, man. I was wondering the whole time, and I actually didn't commentate on it this time because I was just rambling on. Just talking about Tooth and Tail in general. Most of the match this time around. But yeah, that's one thing I was kind of like screaming in my head about when I was watching Tosh play this live. I was like, sink and go this way! Ah! And he finally found that opening. But Tosh manages to clean him up, does not have the money. That was a great match. I love to see the Fox work out well. Oh, I wanted to touch on something Tosh said in the chat, but I'll get into that in just a second. Meek versus Arrowloo. This is gonna be a really cool one. All right, spawning in the bottom left, we've got Arrowloo, and the opponent to the top right, Meek. So this is kind of a clash of styles here, because I feel like Meek falls a little bit into like the Tosh category of good players. You know, I got my sorting hat, putting everybody into their different Tooth and Tail houses. Like, I feel like Meek and Tosh are in like the same Tooth and Tail house, right? Where they're both really phenomenal players, and they both like to change things up. They have some variety. Like, Meek is generally very aggressive. Like, it's kind of funny, actually. I consider Meek like a combination of Saint Abroad and Tosh, right? Because he's both very aggressive, but also likes to play constantly different crazy decks. Meanwhile, Arrowloo is like the other big archetype of high-level player, who's generally a holy grail player, as I call him, where he's looking for that one deck, man, that deck that's just good against everything. You know, no matter what you do. Look at this. I mean, he's got the Squirrel Toad. He can scale with that in the late game. He's got the Skunks. He's got the Snakes. He's got everything you could ask for. And in this very big Tier 2 variety, you see that a lot in high-level players. There isn't really a consensus, I don't think. You know, you'll see top-level players running 0 to 2 Tier 3 all the time. All the time. But what I wanted to talk about that Tosh said, anything crazy? Oh, we do have an A-Farm cam from Arrowloo, which is a bit bold versus Meek, because Meek does like to be aggressive. However, the map is actually really big and awkward, so I like this play from Arrowloo. The Chameleon's going to have incredible value if Meek tries to get a little bit too crazy in their early game. And then also, since Tier 1 builds so much faster than Tier 2, Arrowloo can easily reinforce with Squirrels. But in small numbers, you know, these cams are going to kill all the Tier 1 and stay alive. But Tosh made a really good comment earlier that he's been playing forever, and he still loses most of his games, or a lot of the games. Oh, look at this. Really good angle here from Meek. Gets so much damage done, actually. Damn. Arrowloo was not prepared for the attack to come in from there. That was phenomenal by Meek. Very good job. Sensing out the best thing. But I was listening to... I watch a lot of StarCraft. A lot of Brood War these days in particular. And Tasteless was talking about one of the very first like Brood War pros that was like really good. And they were asking him, you know, like, how do you... You know, he's something in an interview. They're like, "Oh, you must just like win all your games." He's like, "No, actually, I struggle really hard to win 50%. I lose all the time." And he said something really well put in competitive games, where he's like, "If I'm not losing half my games, I'm not playing against the right people." You know. And I thought that was a really smart point, right? Because if you're winning a lot of your games, like sure you can be a good player, but it means you need to be playing against stronger players, you know, because you don't actually learn from wins. Like wins feel good. Sometimes you can, you know, if you win against someone better than you or equal skill of you, you can learn a thing or two. But just like stomping somebody that's a lot easier than you're not learning anything. You learn from your losses actually. You get better from losing, not winning. But Airlu in a decent spot this time around, even with the rough beginning. I love this from Meek here. He's got the lizards over on the side, just waiting for Airlu to step slightly out of position and kind of come in here and pounce on this expansion. Now, if Airlu does find those lizards, could possibly clean them up, but at the same time, Meek can easily retreat those lizards once the map verifies that there is an attack going on. Look at this flank. Flanks are quite difficult to set up a lot of times in Tooth and Tail. But got the cams coming in from the one side. Again, just unfortunate for Airlu, man. That should not have done that much damage. The point of that attack there was to demand Airlu's attention to this side so Meek could rally the lizards onto the natural. But Airlu just was out and about scouting right when those cams got there. And Meek just gets a ton of damage in. That's always one of those things that happens when you do it, you're like, yeah, I am the greatest. And when it happens to you, it's so hard to stay level-headed and not tilt. Those are my two. I think the two most tilty things for me in Tooth and Tail are losing my commander in a fight, especially against snake poison, because sometimes that's really hard to deal with, and stuff like that. Exactly, like when I'm out and about. When my commander's not in position and my opponent moves in, like, oh, that could be so, because you think in your head like, man, I would have been fine if I was there. Damn it. But look at this transition from Meek. Did Airlu just scout it now? Meek does have a weaker economy here, going for triple tier 3 Badger and Owls. Airlu with no tier 3, but he's got a lot of this chonky tier 2 that can scale into the late game nicely. Airlu knows what the position is. Now, this is good for Meek. You know, Airlu did know about that. Like, he saw Meek's commander run right past him. Really good harassment. Very good tactical play from Meek. And I love that these... And look at this. Finally, the flank pays off. Damn, Meek. Side my mouse pad, dude. Such good tactics. Now Airlu is crippled, only down to a couple farms on the main that are going to be mining out soon. And these are such good delay tactics, right? Because Meek's army was actually pretty vulnerable as this triple tier 3 was getting up and running. And Airlu realized that. That's why Airlu was marching out. But Meek was just ready, man, with that 1-2. It was so strong. And Airlu's now all in. Lost the expansion. Going to have to try to get through here. Trying to bring these toads back. Doesn't really want them to connect on the mice. But can Airlu get through? Needs to get the snake stacks on the Badger. The Owl will go down. The Badger will go down. Airlu is starving. Airlu now needs to kill these tier 1 warrants. Does he have enough units left over? He's only got a few. Is not going to go for the kill. Not going to go for the throw. Coming back home. Going to have to sell off some units. Maybe some toads. Maybe some tier 2. Build a farm. Did a good job, though. Knocked out the Owl. Knocked out the Badger. Airlu's got a little bit of a scrappy force here. Want her to go home, sell off a couple things, keep cooking up the units that he can afford. Make sure not to starve out. That 60 food right there actually really hurts. Airlu took that as a base trade mill when he moved in. And since it didn't come down to that, I mean, every buck at this point is so important. No cams here to tank on the front line. I think this is just going to be too much. Meek with these extra lizards, with the Owl. That's going to be it. Airlu should be tapping shortly. There it is. GG. What a game, man. Phenomenal match. Really, really great tactical play there for Meek. All right, last and not least, one more match of the night. As I got everybody, again, keep sending me replays, please. ToothandTailTV@gmail.com. I'm almost out of ammo. I need some more for next week. We got TnT Clan Wars starting on 1 p.m. EST on this channel on Sunday. Some unexpected sneezes. Almost muted the mic in time. We've got the Rolodeck tournament still going on. So you guys can tune in, follow those if you aren't in them. But you can sign up for TnT Championship 2021. Check out how to do so in the Discord. That is currently accepting players for the next season. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, this is it for the night. Match number 12. Spawning on the bottom, we've got Lego Man. The opponent to left, the Gentleman. Alright, these are my boys here. Both of them on Clan P-Boop. Two of the strongest players I managed to recruit. Me and Gentleman go way back. I appreciate him joining my team. I almost pulled out, to be honest, of being a clan leader. I was thinking about it. I couldn't get anybody to join. It was so hard. By the time I was like really recruiting, most people are already on teams. And the Gentleman joining my team was when I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's get this team established. I got the Gent, man. I got the tournament winner. I can make it happen from here. Gentlemen, with some crazy stuff here. Squizzard and a bunch of defenses. Meanwhile, Lego Man with a really solid comp. I like this a lot. The Skunk Snake Owl is a phenomenal mid-game and a late game. And skimping out on the lizards, or on the tier 1, just going with lizards. Again, that can get you into a little bit of trouble if your opponent has toads, but most of the time you'll be okay. Bit of a risk, but on the flip side, does get to fit in the pigeons and mines. Yeah, P-Boop turned out pretty good. We got Ziggy, Kalaru, Lego Man, myself, Gentleman, and P-Boop himself. And we picked up some beginners. We got Sassy Marquez. I'm actually excited for. I've casted a lot of Sassy's games on the replay show here. Got Alto and Snake, a couple new players. Definitely glad to have them. I need to get in some practice with them. I might do that tomorrow. I've been slacking. Yeah, Ziggy repping PXP everywhere, man. So, alright, so I do need to comment on this game because it is very high level. I've been slacking on commentating lately. I've just been talking and not commentating. But nice attack here from Lego Man, trying to grab Gentleman while he's a bit exposed. Gentleman actually going for Ferret Rush here, which does synergize quite nicely with the defenses, but, you know, I hate to be that guy. As much as I love Ferret, and I love, like, the Siege Tank kind of lore to it, I just feel like the Snake does its job better, man. I really do. I really do. Well, let's see. We got the Ferret here. The Ferret, now the one spot, you know, the Ferret can get behind some of these defense and make it happen. But I think 9 times out of 10, you'd just rather have the Snakes, right? What was I going to say? I was going to say something, and it was going to be very profound and enlightening, but I forgot. Nice run around here trying to avoid the barbed wire. One thing, too, I think with barbed wire, that barbed wire is actually in really good position. These Snakes get a little too big for the britches, though. Gentlemen, with these squirrels up top, really good micro from Gent. Sometimes with barbed wire, I think players, myself included, like, just get too scared of it. Like, I wonder how many times the right thing is to just screw it, you know, just bust through it, right? This is actually phenomenal barbed wire right here. This is exactly what you want. Just a few pieces. Really effective, really cost efficient. And you would take quite a bit of damage trying to bust through there. What I like to do, yeah, stuff like this what Ziggy's doing, like tank it with tier 2. Especially nice if you have pigeons. And this is where having ferrets can be a little bit different than having snakes. Like, snakes would not be able to do this kind of poking. This is where ferrets can, ooh, almost picking up that snake there. Ferrets do pair quite nicely with the defense. Doing some shuffling of the snakes up here. Some poking and prodding. That's going to be a hit. Oh, that's a dead snake, gentlemen. Oh, but the snake poison kills the commander. And now Lego Man is going to come in and try to kill the ferrets. He's going to get tags on both of them. Is that enough to actually kill them? It doesn't look like it. Almost, though. Ferrets do have a nice HP pool here. Alright, gentleman's had enough of this. Pushing through. So much skunk gas through that choke, though, man. Oh, I love the emergency wire here just to help tank. Oh, the ferrets go down, though. Nicely done by Lego Man. More and more Tier 1 coming out. Gentlemen very smartly sold off the ferrets. I think they did a good job here. They denied that second base. They actually picked up a snake. They kind of forced Lego Man into some engagements that he otherwise probably wouldn't have gone for. You know, he really committed very hard to chase those ferrets down while they were kiting, taking a lot of damage. Good control here from Lego Man. Lego Man really is like one of the best with snakes, in my opinion. Ooh, that one gets a little bit far forward. Man, this choke, though, with the skunk gas, I can't get over it. Ah! Gent's just gotta run around, but these snakes gonna poke down the second base. No more economic advantage for Gentleman. He's gonna have to start playing more cost-effective. Really wants to get these Tier 2. Might get one. No! Lego Man gonna save all of them. Oh my god. That's so rough here for the Gentleman. Like, that would have been hashtag worth, you know, if one of those Tier 2 died. God forbid 2 of them died. I mean, that probably would have been GG, but Lego Man keeping all those alive. This is looking pretty good for Lego here. Let's see. Sometimes if you get enough lizards, they can just overwhelm, but keep in mind, Lego Man doesn't just have Skunk Snake, he's also got lizards of his own here. So I think any way you slice this, Lego Man's got the better army. Gent, maybe thinking about the base trade. In starvation here, gonna pick up this cabin. Lego's already moving out, though. Doesn't have the time to pick up the cabin. Gentleman's gonna look for a better angle here. No longer in the choke, no longer gonna be gassed to death as effectively. Good job microing these units around, but Lego keeping the boys alive. 1 HP on the snake. This is such a good... Oh, nice check by Lego Man 2, just to see if Gent's taking anything. Such good micro from both sides here. But it looks like Gentleman is going to starve out. Maybe. Oh no, look, they're starving at the same time. Oh my god, is this going to be a draw? No, he's got to kill the cabin. No, Gentleman, don't tap. Oh my god. Oh, who's going to get it? Who's going to get the cabin? Oh, the Gentleman does. But that resets the timer. Oh my god. Ah! What a way to end the night. That was so good. No draw. Yeah, he reset the starvation timer. You took Lego Man's work. Lego Man killed the cabin. You stole the campfire. What a game. What a game, says Freak Morris in the chat. I agree. That was the best steal ever for sure. Thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it. It's always great spending my Friday night with y'all talking about Tooth and Tail. And we'll see you on Sunday for the Clan Wars. I'll be casting some of those 1 p.m. EST on this channel. Kobo will be casting some more at 4 o'clock. We'll make sure to get you those Twitch details on Sunday. And yeah, that's it. Keep sending me replays, everybody, if you enjoy the show. Any level of play is perfectly fine. I like having a good mix. I like some beginner games where I can give you some pointers. I like some pro games where we can all learn something. And I like some crazy games where some nonsense happens. So take care, everybody. We'll see y'all on Sunday.